Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about the signs of a classless and desperate lady. I want us to have a heart-to-heart conversation today, which is why I'm not like overly dressed. I'm even having my sister locks. Honestly, you guys are probably going to see the sister locks a lot more going forward. I think a lot of times when people are in like talking stages and maybe you've actually been dating pool for a very long time, sometimes you probably act in certain ways that might then pass you off as a classless or a desperate lady, and that's something you absolutely want to avoid when you are talking to people, or when people are talking to you, or when you're in the talking stages and with a guy. Okay, and you absolutely want to be aware of all of these signs I'm going to mention in this video and ensure that's not you, so that 1, you are not being disrespected, 2, you're not taken advantage of, 3, you're not in a relationship where you are absolutely doing all the work and the guy knows that you're desperate, and so he just keeps playing on that weakness of yours. Number 1, a desperate lady is always too available for the man. Okay, if you are saying in a talking stage with someone and the person is trying to get to know you, there will always be time where that person wants to spend time with you and stuff like that, isn't it? But every time that they call you and you are always available, like someone calls you up and at 5:50 for example and says, oh, can we go out at 6:30? Like, we're not even in a relationship, you're just talking to me. You are only just talking to me, and you gave me short timelines to go on a date with you, and you're following him to the laundry person, you're following him to shop for food, you're following him to do the groceries, you're following him for drinks, you're following him for this, for that. Every single time he calls you, you're always available. What it signals to that guy is that you have absolutely nothing going on in your world apart from everything happening in his, which you want to be a part of. And that's not a good signal. Like, I could tell you for free, sometimes just say no and sleep on your bed. One thing you need to invest on is a very comfortable bed, okay? So that you're not always volunteering to go out with him. He's going to his friends, you're following him. He's going to do the groceries, you're following him. He's going to do whatever in the world. He absolutely knows that anytime he calls you, you're going to be available. That is a sign of being a desperate lady. Sometimes sit on your bed. In fact, if you have nothing to do, sleep, exercise, read a book, make a call to someone else. Absolutely let him know that you have other things happening in your world rather than following him around the world. Another sign that you're a desperate lady is actually that you ignore his rude behavior and how he treats you poorly, or his arrogance towards you. Let me tell you something that you need to know. When someone is trying to woo you or trying to be in a relationship with you, they are in their best behavior. I kid you not. When someone loves you and he wants to spend his life with you, that stage where he's trying to get to know you is a time where he is willing to be his best self, to be in his best behavior, and so he will do everything he humanly and possibly can to win you over. But when he's doing exactly the opposite and you're still giving him time and attention, then he would not absolutely take you seriously. Okay? And if someone disrespects you, if someone behaves rudely to you, and if someone is arrogant towards you and you still tolerate that, it means you lack self-respect, and it means you're a very desperate person. Okay? A guy who cannot be in his best behavior when he's trying to ask you out or to woo you, what do you think he will actually do when you are in a relationship together? He will do exactly the same thing, and he won't stop there. He will do even more. Okay? So you need to sit back and say, why am I even tolerating a bad behavior from this guy? Why am I even tolerating him being rude to me? Why am I allowing him treat me poorly? Because you actually deserve to be treated better. You deserve to be treated with love and with respect. And so if you accept those things from other people, them disrespecting you, then your self-esteem has probably taken a hit, or you lack self-respect, and you need to come back to the drawing table and say, what is wrong with me and I need to fix this ASAP. Another sign of a desperate lady is a lady who stalks the guy and is clingy. Honestly, like, you absolutely want to know what your partner is doing sometimes, right? But it's not the case that you go on their social media post. You are not even in a relationship with this person, but every comment he makes, you will like, you will comment on. Every post he makes, you would like, you will comment on. Literally following him everywhere on all of his social media platforms. You're on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on TikTok, you are on whatever social media platform he is, liking all his pictures from 1960. That is desperation, girl. Stop it, okay? That is stalking, and that's being clingy. Like, you want to be with him 24 hours. You will also always want to monitor his movement. That's not the sign of a lady that's got class, okay? Allow people be, okay? Even if when you're in a relationship, you don't need to act clingy or desperate or needy, like doing the same things. You don't need to do that, all right? Another sign that shows you desperate is when you are the only one planning the marriage. You're the one designing a whole marriage plan. When this guy who you're designing this marriage with seems uninterested and is not even showing signs that he actually wants a future with you, and there you are planning all the family introductions, planning the wedding colors, planning travels, planning everything, and the guy's just there. When you talk about marriage to him, he doesn't even seem remotely interested in what it is you're talking about, but you're there planning it, just hoping that he's going to get on board one day. No, if a guy loves you, he actually wants you and will do everything to get you, including planning the wedding. Okay, so when he's not trying to introduce you to his friends or to his family, and you're the one always pushing, why don't you introduce me to your friend? Why don't you introduce me to your family? Why are you hiding me from your... Oh my God, don't do that. He's absolutely not interested. And you need to know that. The moment you start forcing him to introduce you to his parents, to his siblings, to his friends, as his girlfriend or as whatever to him, then you're acting desperate. Another sign that you're desperate is when you are the one always contacting him, calling him, texting him. It's one-way communication. He is not putting in the effort. Then you're desperate. Men are chasers, and you absolutely need to know that. Men are hunters. If a man loves you, he will hunt you down. Until he gets you, you will be the prize. He will chase you until he actually gets you, until you say yes or you say no. But that he won't chase you, that's not something he's gonna do. He will absolutely chase you, okay? So when he's not contacting you, he's not calling you, he's not texting you, or he takes ages before he calls you back, then there's a problem. Like I said to you, men are chasers. Even if you were the one who like showed interest first, if he picked up that interest and he's also equally interested in you, he will start doing chasing. He will start talking to you. He will start, you know, building that relationship with you. But if you are the one always calling him and texting him and checking up on him and always nagging about, oh, you've not been calling me, or he knows what he's doing, he's not busy, he's simply not interested. So stop being desperate or asking him why you've been the only one calling. Just take the signs as they are and know that he's not interested, and you do not need to show that you're desperate. You are absolutely going to get that man who loves you, who cares about you, who will always constantly call you to check up on you and to see how you're doing, and not the other way around. I'm not saying you don't need to call your partner or someone who you're interested in, but let it not be a one-way effort. A desperate woman is a woman who feels incomplete without a man. If you feel like, oh, I need a guy in my life to make me feel complete as a lady, that is desperation. That's not you trying to feel like a lady. Even when you then get into a relationship, a man does not complete you. A man compliments you. Okay? You need to be your whole self. You need to be your complete self getting into a relationship. Nobody is ever going to complete you. They will only complement you. So if you feel as if you're not complete without achieving the status of a married woman or the status of a woman in a relationship, and you need a man to fill that gap, something is fundamentally wrong. Another sign that you're a desperate woman is when you drop all your standards and all your values for a guy. No matter how much you love somebody, no matter how much you love a guy, you need to keep those standards and those values that are important to you intact. If you're someone who values trust, honesty, transparency, if a guy comes along, if he doesn't meet all these values that you have set, there is no dropping of the standard. You're not like, oh well, he's trustworthy, but he tells lies, I can deal with it. No, that is absolutely not possible. If you keep dropping your standards, today he feels, you know, in the trust test, you drop your standard. Tomorrow, you like honesty, but he tells a lot of lies, you drop your standard. The next day, he has addictions that you do not want someone who you want to be in a relationship with, you drop your standards. The next day, he wants to be in places where you do not feel comfortable going to, you drop your standards. You're desperate. You're absolutely desperate, because you will then do anything to get this man. You will drop all your values just to have a man. That's desperation. Another sign that you're desperate is when you're constantly seeking validation from a man. Oh, am I beautiful? Oh, how do I look? Are you sure? Are you sure? Oh, absolutely look fat. What do you think? You don't need anyone to tell you that you look gorgeous, that you look amazing. And if you need someone to tell you, I'm absolutely here to tell you that you look smashingly stunning, absolutely beautiful and amazing, and there is absolutely no one who looks like you do, because you're unique in the way that you've been created and in the way that you look now, and you're absolutely sweet. Okay? You don't need a man to validate you. You don't need a man to compliment you. You don't need a man to tell you who you are. If that is the case with you, then we need to start talking about like your inferiority complex and your self-esteem issues, because no one should be in a place where they are seeking for validation from someone else. And not a lady seeking a validation or any type of validation from a man. In fact, don't seek for validation from your fellow lady. That's not good at all. Another sign of a desperate lady is a lady who absolutely knows that a guy is always lying to her. His stories do not check out at every point in time. There are inconsistencies in the stories, and she keeps believing him. She keeps going, what exactly are you doing? If he keeps lying to you and you can find inconsistencies in his stories, why do you think he's not going to lie about something else? Like, why do you think he's not going to do something and lie about it to you? If his stories constantly do not check out, he will do the same thing with you, because that's the kind of person that he is. All right? So you need to not act desperate. When you see that someone's stories are not consistent, call them out. Don't like be desperate and keeping up with that inconsistency of a story. Another sign of a desperate lady is a lady who dresses to draw attention. I'm not talking about you just dressing because it makes you happy or that's exactly how you want to dress, but you know you have a date with a guy and all you want to do is to just keep out everything that you need to keep private out in his face, such that when he's then having conversations with you, he's not concentrating and he is there just being carried away. Absolutely dress amazingly well and how you want to, and of course properly. When you're going on a date or something, don't always try to get attention through your dressing. Like when you enter the room, you absolutely want everyone to know you're in the room. Let me tell you, you could absolutely dress really, really well. And when you step into a room, they will know that you're in that room, because there's a presence that you have. There's an aura that you carry that is hard to miss, and not because you have dressed in a certain way. Do you get what I mean? Like, stop dressing inappropriately just because you want to attract male attention. And finally, this is a bonus tip. When you're always giving unreciprocated love and unreciprocated gifts and unreciprocated praise, if you are with that person who every time you're the one always giving, they do not give you back, you're the one always complimenting them, praising them, appreciating them, they do not appreciate you back, and you're the one always like showing your love all the time, and you tell them, for example, I love you, and they say thank you. Oh, please, 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 please. It's definitely not you. Like, you're actually not watching this video, but if you are, that's okay. Just recognize that you're acting desperate and you need to stop it, okay? Like, don't be in a relationship where you're the one always giving, either emotionally or physically or gifts or whatever it is. Don't be the one always giving. It has to be a two-way thing. You're showing love, the person is reciprocating your love. You're giving gifts, the person is giving gifts back to you. You're praising the person, complimenting them, they're also complimenting you. That's how you know, like, not being in a one-sided relationship. That actually makes you desperate, okay? So I hope you've been able to gain a lot from this video, and you've been able to have takeaways about how you're acting desperate if you're showing any of these, you know, signs or behaviors I've talked about in this video. And I hope you can actually like fix them and, you know, get back to who you actually should be and who you are, and in getting all the love and the respect that you deserve from that man in that relationship, or from whoever it is you're talking to at the moment, or you are thinking of being in a relationship with at the moment. Just know that whatever relationship you're in, you should be treated in the right manner, and do not come off as desperate, because the truth is that these guys will absolutely know it. They see through it and they can tell that you're acting desperate, and the bad ones will actually take advantage of you. The good ones who see that you're acting desperate will actually leave you and not take you seriously, okay? So you don't want to be that Miss Desperate, okay? You actually want to be a full-blown lady with class, and that's not acting desperate, and who will actually meet the man of her dreams at the right time and at the right place, and when all the right circumstances align, you meet that man who absolutely adores you, cherishes you, and loves you for whom you are. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I absolutely love you, and you know I absolutely do. Thank you for always watching my videos and for always engaging with me. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.